So, this variation of food has been making the rounds, and I wanted a point to make a point to play it here on stream. For those not familiar, this archetype got a number of upgrades in recent card releases on Arena, both in Ravenous Squirrel from the Jumpstart Historic Horizons, as well as Meathook Massacre from the most recent Standard Legal set. So, one of the reasons why Meathook is such a big upgrade to this archetype is not only is it a sweeper that makes your cat oven loop drain your opponent for 2 every time you cycle through it, but with Trail of Crumbs, this is a sweeper that we can find with our primary source of card advantage here. Past just the cat oven loop, we've also got things like Village Rites and Deadly Dispute to kind of churn through our deck, various disruption and removal in a couple of different ways. And then something that's kind of cute in the mana base these lists have been doing is playing 4 copies of Khalni Garden as an extra thing that can die to Meathook or block or sack to an oven or a squirrel for value. So I'm interested to see if the tapped land from this is good. This is the certified best deck right now. I don't think that that's true. I think some iteration of Cat Oven is probably the strongest thing in this format at the moment that's known, but there definitely have not been any meaningful tournaments to know that, like, this new iteration is better than the established Mayhem Devil Jund variations that have been around for a while now. So, I think this variation of the archetype is worth considering, but it's definitely much too early to know, hey, this is the best build of this archetype. Just doesn't do anything, right? Does no lands. This is fine. Not good, but fine. Since this hasn't put up results, why did people start playing it all of a sudden? Well, there haven't been tournaments to put results up in, Roskaz. So, Croakies, Gabriel Nassif, other content creators have been playing it. It's looked reasonable on the ladder, but there just aren't a lot of tournaments. This is the TLDR. I feel like that must be a reference to something worthless, but it's lost on me. At any rate, thanks for the 44 months. We're gonna go ahead and kill Landmore Elves. Thanks for the 20 months, Balasar. Welcome back. Appreciate the prime. I think I want to kill that. Stop this from flipping. I won the first Owling Mine matchup on camera, and none of the rest of the matchups were on camera, so for all you know, I never lost again. Thanks for the 44 months, Pokemon Nerd. I appreciate that in the very generous tier 3. Welcome back. Well, I think our window to draw a Meathook here is probably closed. They're going to have a ton of mana here now. Well, I mean... why didn't they... They just, like, have nothing in hand? Because, like, if they had a... 3, 4... Oh, they can activate Clan Card into turn here, right? Yeah, a little surprised they didn't main phase the activation to get Growing Rites going. They just have Cocoa. Really weird that they didn't do this main phase, because I guess they wanted to play around Meathook, like land Meathook, I suppose. Definitely far enough behind that we can back this in. Hey, look, chat. It's one of those cards why Elves isn't very popular in best of 3. Pulse is a little slow. Fatal Push and Bone Shards seem good. Definitely want Vengeance. Meathook sounds lovely. Couple of geese. Goose with Trail's probably fine, actually. But you know what? Maybe we trim a couple of squirrels here. Because attacking through with squirrel actually seems pretty unlikely, right? Yeah, I'm gonna cut all the squirrels, actually. See how that feels. You are closing in on 3 years, OG. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. Arcana Chance, thanks for the 3rd of a year. Happy Thursday. Opponent's turn to mulligan here. No 1-drop is nice for us. Rude. All right, we take those. Cauldron Familiar. Then Meathook. Yeah, that's true. Deadly Dispute, sacking the food still lets you trigger Trail of Crumbs, which is really nice. It's definitely not something I was thinking about. Good. Look at my game actions, chat. Aren't they exciting? Yeah, this build really leans into... This build definitely leans into the sack loop harder than other builds had prior. I think even a good company here we should live through with this many blockers. I don't have a company. Alright, deal. Also at a pretty solid life total. We have Gilded Goose with Phyrexian Tower. It's basically like a build our own witch's oven. Listen, chat, if you hate this, there's a good chance you just hate historic. This is the format at the moment. That's okay. I just want you to understand how it is. This is a good example of how even though when you're executing your combo quickly, the deck still takes a while. I am clicking relatively quickly here, and it's still taking a while for our opponent to die. Actually, am I just... We're just meat hooking here, right? I think we're just meat hooking here. Two, three, four, five, six, seven. So we'll do this for X is 5. Arena will likely never have a system for looping actions. It's just not something that's particularly feasible to do. We brought back cats, they die to Meathook and cats triggers. Maybe? You're probably right. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't count. A reasonable request would be asking Magic Arena to gain auto yield and auto target things like Magic Online has. Like getting features that the other platform has is pretty fine request. Hey, Semest, thank you for the 19 months. Welcome back. And Z Lorks, thanks for the follow. To get the sub survey, you need to join the Discord server. Twitch has removed the ability for partners to email subscribers directly. So it is unfortunate because that has severely hurt my ability to get a reasonable number of responses, but it is what it is. So the 22 months, Garlic, welcome back. It's not a big deal though, because Twitch has assured me that they are just temporarily removing the ability to email subs, and the feature will be back soon. And they told me that it will be back soon in April of 2021. So I'm sure soon is any day now. Hey, welcome back to a live one, Washington. I appreciate the almost 2 years. Good morning, good morning. We open trail. What does auto yield do? It lets you not have to click resolve on a certain type of trigger. Oh, April 2021 is a year from now. Fair. Really want an untapped land here. Alright, and we're dead. Good shit. Kept the 2-lander on the draw. Had 2 extra looks. Died miserably. Welcome to Magic. So, as a random aside, related to the current mana screw we are experiencing, I taught the boys how to play Pokemon TCG, like really play the right way for the first time last night. And it had been a while since I'd played Pokemon TCG, and I'd forgotten how good that game is at reducing variance in such a pleasant way. Like they have a system with resources in the deck just like Magic does. And just the way they design their cards to not have games like this constantly is very pleasant. Looking forward to Pokemon TCG's new digital client coming out later this year. Supposed to be out before next year. The prize system in Pokemon causes unneeded variance. I disagree with that, actually. The prize system in Pokemon actually works to ensure that your deck isn't a one-trick based around only doing a single thing. And if you are a deck that's a one-trick based around only doing a single thing, you are appropriately punished by variance in some amount of the games. So the prize system in Pokemon TCG serves to encourage you to make better deck building decisions and then punishes you if you don't. Do we play another squirrel, or do we just, like, hold up Village Rites? I think it's right to hold up Village Rites here. With no plays after Double Mountain, we could get something like Sweltering or Angered here. We don't have a firm date yet, Hyde. They have not given a firm date. It's really not a big deal, Rook. If I'm being completely honest, I've actually been a bit surprised by how many of my existing viewers have said they like the new YouTube channels, because my intention for creating the new YouTube channels was, you know, to try and reach newer audiences. So it's been a pleasant surprise to see how many of my existing people actually do like it. So, like, if you're one of my existing people who it isn't something that you're into, like, you're here because you've probably liked how I've been doing things as is. I guess we use... Oh, I missed a point of damage. We should use the goose now, because I could find a cat. We might have missed a bunch of damage here. So if I find a cat, we could loop the cat with the squirrel, too. Let's grab a Trail of Crumbs here. Just dig deeper. Thanks for the follow, Bill Hot. The deck digest has been wonders for me since I've been having long shifts to work in college, and the 40 to 50 minute videos are nice. Nice, part to start, yeah. I've gotten that feedback a lot. The streamer boomers are evolving. I mean, you could argue that, like, me investing time into YouTube is kind of the opposite of being a boomer, right? Like, Twitch is... YouTube's the boomer platform, right? Like, in fact, as a pointed example... When people ask me what my job is, if I'm talking to someone who's older than a millennial, I frequently have to describe my job as it's YouTube but live. Although, that could definitely be an argument about the amount of niche it is. Like, I would wager the average boomer has a better chance of knowing what TikTok or Snapchat are than they do Twitch, just because of the audiences that these platforms reach. You mean YouTube isn't live? YouTube is only live content if Google has given you a check for an ungodly amount of money to leave Twitch. Man, this squirrel, we didn't really get to see the squirrel get going in the first match against Elves. It's just not good at attacking through there, but this squirrel gets really big really fast, huh? Hey, thanks for the almost 3 years, Gendy. Welcome back. Jeff writes magazine articles only with moving pictures. Yeah, I mean, TikTok, what's it called? TikTok has definitely encouraged people to jump from thing to thing more often as people idly scroll, right? Definitely want the cheaper removal. Actually, Maelstrom Pulse is probably a little slow here. Oh, you know what? They're probably going to have... Like, they're going to have, like, Roiling Vortex post board, which is a reason to have something like this in. This is a copy-paste deck list off the internet, Wallaby. As far as Pithing Needle versus Sorceress Spyglass goes, I would not be surprised if, I would imagine that most of the cards, my words are just mush. Most of the decks that you want a card like Pithing Needle against, likely only have one thing that you care about Pithing Needling anyways, so being able to see their hand isn't really a meaningful benefit. Yeah, no, I'm interested to see what the new Pokemon client does with their economy, because Pokemon TCG ties their digital economy to their physical booster packs as well. Like, when you buy a pre-made Pokemon deck or booster pack, you get a code for a booster pack or that pre-made deck in their digital client. And I assume that they're going to keep that going even when they move to the new one. Yeah, Wizards likes money. Like, Wizards just came to the conclusion that doing a code system inside of packs for Arena wasn't as profitable for them, so they didn't do it. Like, Wizards does a lot of things different than Pokemon. Like, for example, what's the word I'm searching for? Wizards, Pokemon reprints their format staples into the ground, which is nice. Let's attack first here. Nice, got a free point. Yeah, once upon a time, Wizards managed Pokemon stuff. It's been a long time since that was a thing, though. The Khalni Gardens have felt relatively free so far. Definitely can see why these are cards that are played in this archetype. Bring this back, because we're going to Fatal Push this. I'm going to say this a few times this set, but it really makes me chuckle how many people will come in here and be like, wow, we're playing food? Way to be lame. And it's just like, well, this is the format, right? So if you think what we're doing is lame, you think Historic is lame, and that's okay, but like, you know, acknowledge it. Based on the metrics of the most recent sub survey, a majority of people that sub claim to support Historic content. And this is Historic, so... I'm just here making what people say they want to see. God, Meathook makes cat extra annoying. Yeah, just like, you're dead. It's okay to play good decks sometimes, chat, just not standard turns. Mood. Does that mean historic turns is fine? What's his name? Seth Manfield has been playing a bunch of historic turns. Bob and Cheese, are you in here too? You said you've been playing turns too? Seen a few people playing turns in historic. Honestly, against decks like what we're playing, turns is probably pretty good. I would bet turns in historic is probably not bad with people with food being one of the better decks. What's going on, Coder Chris? Someone yesterday said that they think we probably have about an hour to an hour and a half left in Mass Effect 1, so I'll probably start Mass Effect 2 this afternoon. Yeah, I think my plan is just roll right on into the second one this afternoon. Just hang out for my Mass Effect playthrough Lumbering Falls, and then play Fallout 4 on your own, because I don't intend to play Fallout 4 anytime soon. Easy peasy. And I think we just Meathook for 0 here, right? Peace was never an option for this plant, chat. How do you feel about Mario games that are designed to be the worst? I don't understand what you mean by designed to be the worst. Lucas Dragon, thanks for the 24 months. I really don't like classic side-scrolling 2D Mario games, like from the N64 and Super NES era, but Mario Odyssey was very good. It's one of the better 3D platformers I've played.
I'm known for my excellent timing. You know what? I'm not done.
You want a hot take, chat? Old 2D platformers like Mario that are the 2D platformers, they're basically 2D Dark Souls that punish you for missing small executions of things with overly long runbacks. That's not even a hot take. God bless. I feel like too many of the really early era video games were designed using the same formula that the arcade games that were designed to eat your quarters used.
You need to take a time out.
It's like these games weren't designed with like being a good game in mind. They were designed with like making you restart a bunch and get playtime by making you do the same things over and over. So my plan for like the little mini thing they added to FF7R is I think I'll probably play through that when they add the next installment to that series. So basically I don't think I'm gonna touch it in the short term. I'm gonna wait for them to add the next part of it like next year. They made NES games harder in the American market because of the rental market. That's interesting. Yeah, FF7R is really good if you haven't played it. 10 out of 10 would highly recommend.
Hurry.
FF7R is the only Final Fantasy game I have ever played. Hey, welcome back, Dabo. Congrats on landing your new gig. Thanks for the support. Hey, welcome back, Zevs. I would probably... that's the feedback I've gotten from other people is that 7R is a pretty different formula than the others. What is it? I have Final Fantasy, is it 15? Question mark? As a game that I got for free with PlayStation that I might do at some point. I think we just passed here, right? I'm probably gonna tap out and then I can Village Rites for cards. You are not the first person I have heard refer to 15 as the boy band simulator. Come on, take my cat. Oh, God, just look at how punishing this is, chat. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, we got him. Ha! We got him. They're through 2 lightning helixes already here. So trying to fade a Gear Hulk / 3rd helix. I'm actually not super big on turn-based RPGs. Definitely prefer real-time gameplay. Do they have another Archmage's Charm here? Nope, we got the blockers. Helix, maybe? Outside of Magic and Pokemon Unite, pretty much all the games I play are things like Mass Effect or Witcher 3.
No time for a break.
I think this or Jund Stronger. I don't think we have enough. I don't think we have enough data one way or another to say which food variation is better right now. Hey, morning, Demir Spy. Has been some time. Thanks for the 40 months. The Hive of the Eye Tyrant adds another wrinkle into the plan here, too. Never touched a Resident Evil. When your Teferi hero of Dominaria has to tuck a Meathook Massacre. Wow, that's big sad. I played Raid Shadow Legends on my phone for a long time.
Slow down.
Transform, Hive, and sack it? Nah. Nah, I want the Hive in play. Just dead to the creature lane. You love to see it, chat. You love things you love to see. It. So long, farewell, I'll see you and good day. Hey, but the Eye Tyrant, more like Spider-Man shit. It's a menace. How many meat hooks do I want in my deck post board? I feel like the answer is more than 0. Yeah, is it like 2? I think 2 is what my gut said. Like the flavor text on this is just really good in this matchup. I think we trim some geese because they're kind of just filler. We have plenty of mana, right? Yeah, I'm on 22 lands. Yeah, I think we want to see like 1 per game, usually. L, draining them for 2 is a beating. Ooh, chat. The new federal OSHA requirement for companies with 100 or more employees to require COVID vaccinations or regular testing for their employees goes into effect January 4th. You love to see it. Interesting. Interesting to see how that goes over. And it's actually not even a vaccination requirement because you could just get tested regularly instead. I don't have a source past this person's tweet, but they're a reliable source for me. Consistently, like I've never had to I've never seen them walk back things. They're a news person that I follow. So if you want a better source than that, I don't have one offhand. Apologies. Yeah, Griffin's usually reliable. Thank you, Jareth and Frags, for the more than tweet sources. Is this the old Meathook for 0? Yeah, the one thing I'm gonna be interested to see from the you have to be vaccinated or regularly tested requirement is it's very possible that some companies will just be like, we don't want to track testing for you people, so you have to get vaccinated. Ixalan's binding on my witch's oven. That's rude. There are already companies doing that. Yeah, that wouldn't be surprised me to see a number of people do that. Well, I mean, if you're gonna twist my arm. So I didn't bring the cat back because I was gonna cast Trail and then use Cat Sack the food draw with Trail, but now we'll definitely just get our oven back and keep beating them down.
If you show remorse, I'll show respect. You know what? I'm not done.
This is the way we sack the cats, sack the cats, sack the cats. This is the way we sack the cats. Do 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 do. J Bilb, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Probably just Clarion, and then we play Squirrel, right? This deck still has a ton of clicking in it, WTE. This is a very satisfying game of Magic. Watching this play out, I understand why Jeskai kind of fallen back more. This match did not feel particularly close. We had a pretty mediocre draw in that first game, and we still kind of just crunched them down. Like even this here, right? Like they're about to Gear Hulk. They're about to Gear Hulk Opus us. They still just can't win. Yeah, exactly that, Viper. This deck is a strong creature matchup. So one thing we were talking about is if the food decks keep increasing in popularity, and this is, I hate to say this, chat, but it's the appropriate game theory response, is that if this cat of a deck keeps getting more popular, there is a good chance that the Taking Turns deck from Standard gets ported and is very good in this format because spell-based combo is the best thing you can do to prey on this food deck. I would have banned Cauldron Familiar in this format a year ago, Moon Boots. When they banned Cauldron's Familiar in Standard, it should have also been banned in Historic, in my opinion. Yeah, Vodrock turns is pretty spell combo adjacent. Yeah, Seth's been playing a bunch of extra taking turns. Elves again? Oh, you know what? I probably should have just deadly disputed my Shambling Ghast to kill their Land War Elf. How do we feel about dispute sack this? I kind of like it. Oh, you know what? I could have dispute sacked this and then cast the Trail of Crumbs and had these be 4/4s, right? Yeah, I missed 2 points of damage here. Yeah, I missed 2 points of damage there. Really impressive turn 3 here out of our deck. One Meathook Massacre, please. So sack the food to Deadly Dispute. I could technically hit them for 4 more here. All right. So they passed. I think I want to kill Allosaurus Shepherd here. Not the tokens. Why do Shockland decks look kind of vulnerable right now? Can you elaborate on your point, Partistar? Because I don't understand why you're bringing up the number of Shocklands. It's a shame that we're 18 cards into our deck without a Meathook right now. Just end the game on the spot. And this is why pulsing the tokens wasn't very good, right? They like very likely had collected company here, so just gonna be able to make more. And I want to kill the Allosaurus Shepherd so I don't die in the backswing. I think of trample, right? Just a touch, yeah. That lethal? 9, 10, 11. I think that's lethal, right? The incredibly difficult elf line of cast every spell in my hand and then attack. Just Magic Arena things. Tank. I guess I'll play all my spells and attack for lethal. That game, while it was kind of impressive how aggressive our squirrels were to start, that game is an example of why I'm going to board them out here. Opponent just has plenty of chump blockers. If they don't have plenty of chump blockers, they should be dying anyways, because that means we found our sweepers. I mean, we have a pretty big advantage game 1, too, right? Like, our opponent had multiple Elvish Archdruids and a Collected Company in their top 10 cards or so. And we were missing our 4 of Sweeper and almost 20 cards. Like, we find our key... They had multiples of their key cards, and we missed our 1 key card that ends the game on the spot. I mean, our deck, like, you just watched me sideboard Gology. Our deck didn't change very much post-board either because, again, we're set up pretty well game 1 for this. I completely disagree with you, Demir Spy. Actually just didn't matter. Like, they literally killed us that turn. Like, if we had one more draw step, maybe it would have mattered, but we didn't have a draw step. We were dead that turn. So your point is actually just wrong. How quickly do I want to pull the trigger on this? Probably not super quickly. I'd encourage you to go back and actually watch what happened there, Demir Spy. We still would have been dead to their attack that turn. Get going here. I think I'm gonna chill on the oven for now because I want to be able to, like, kill something that's potentially going to push lethal here out of nowhere. I'm going to block here because my play next turn is land, Witch's Oven, Meathook Massacre. So I want to sack my cat in response to the Meathook trigger, so that way I get the 1 from draining them. I think I'm still just chilling on this with the cat. Yeah, kill one of these. I'm gonna sack this, which lets me fatal push the Archdruid. And then Shambling Ghast gets to kill the War Master. Well, I guess I technically could have blocked something with the Cauldron Familiar there too. Took 1 extra point of damage I didn't need to take. Cat was tapped before blockers. Yeah, I had 2 ovens though, so I could have sacked it, brought it back, and then blocked and then sacked it with the other oven. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a big feel smart element to decks like this. You're taking a lot of game actions and making a number of micro decisions in the average game that's going well. We can draw an untapped land here, we'll be in a great spot. Magic's really easy, chat. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why Elves is the most played deck in Best of 1, but sees absolutely no success in Best of 3, as far as tournaments are concerned. There's just so many good sideboard cards that just take Elves and shove it in a trash can. It's like, and for my next trick... Hey, thanks for the 3.5 years, Rad. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, I mean, they didn't play poorly. Their deck is a low player agency deck. The games that they lose, they don't have a lot of control over, and the games that they win, their opponents don't have a lot of meaningful counterplay. Live by the sword, die by the sword. We lead on Squirrel here, and then we go like Cat Oven next turn and attack for 3. It's like go Gadget Wild Nicottle. Our deck's busted, chat. Alright, so I'm gonna bring in Soul Guide Lantern. They might be Phoenix at the minimum. They have the Delirium cards. This can cantrip. Pulse is probably a little slow. Gonna bring in the Fatal Pushes. Need 2 more trims here. It's like cut around the edges, like a Village Rites out. And a Shambling Ghast out. A matchup is Wishclaw Talisman for. I don't know. Probably for the cut it from the sideboard and put in a better card there matchup. Honestly, it could have been right to board it into the Elf matchup to have it be like a 5th Meathook Massacre since Meathook's so important there. It looks like the mono red discard deck here for the opponent. I have to imagine this matchup's pretty okay for us. Cat Oven Loop seems strong here. Spartan the Red. Thanks for the 33 months. Happy Blair's Day to you too. Thanks for the tier 3. It's a pretty fast hollowed one. Our hand's a little slow here. Yeah, turn 2 hollowed one, turn 2 delirium. It's definitely one of our opponent's stronger starts. So I can Deadly Dispute, sack the goose, make a treasure, sack the treasure. No, I could Deadly Dispute, sack a food, make a treasure, use the treasure, sack the goose. This is a 4/4 we trade with Hollowed One. I think is the line. No, yeah, I think Shocking's correct. Alright, so we're dead. And we're dead. Do we want some pulses and morality spears for killing their 4/4s? I think we do. No, it's creature or artifact. So you can actually Trail of Crumbs on 2, and then Deadly Dispute, sack the food, trigger Trail on 3, like draw 3 plus draw 1 with Trail of Crumbs. It's very, very, very elegant curve. Yeah, it's good. Maybe I don't want these and I just want the removal for their stuff. Let's try that. There's a hollow boy in our future. Their dojo contains fear, chat. That was a free attack and we took it. Probably still dead, but... I guess Mortality Spear kills the hollowed one. Depends on how many threats they have left over after it, and whether or not they died a Fatal Push. Them flashing back looting as their play seems like it bodes well for us. Untapped land would be nice so we could Mortality Spear and kill this without sacking our treasure. Cat would also be a good draw. So Cat would make the Mortality Spear only cost 2. Nice. I think we shock here and save the treasure, because if we hold on to the treasure, we can Deadly Dispute to draw 2 cards. No other plays here is excellent for us, obviously. Maybe I'm just supposed to have drawn Lurrus here. Well, that explains what's in their hand, I guess. Not a bunch of removal. 1 kitty cat, please. We take the hit for 4 here. It's only going to 7. I guess we're at a virtual 5 with the Ramanap runes, but like we can eat a food next turn, right? In a pinch. We have to play Lurrus. We can play Lurrus, bring back a squirrel, and eat a food all in the same turn. Oh man, this gains a life when it attacks and draws a card too. That's so good, chat. And then if they go to deal any amount of damage to us at end of turn here, we're just going to eat a food. Really kind of showing the stranglehold this deck can put aggro decks in. Just kind of damned if they do, damned if they don't. Spending cards to burn us isn't really valuable because we have all these food to catch back up in life. And then we got plenty of poopers to flood the board that they can't really attack in super profitably if they're not hyper aggressive like they were in that second game. So, I can eat a food, sack a treasure, cook the goose. Your move, Yugi boy. This is all I got. Got me. How will we ever replace that squirrel, chat? How will we ever replace the squirrel? Oh no! Yikes. Actually in trouble? Actually in trouble. Disaster. Actual factual disaster, chat. Sometimes their last 3 cards are all removal spells and you draw another land. That's just how Magic goes. Tonight, that's how it goes. Not a bad fucking joke. One Meathook, please? Question mark. Dead to a 1-mana removal spell. You draw another Seasoned Pyromancer. Dead to Fiery Temper. I think they've only played one of those. Dead to another Pillar of Flame. Not dead to that. Heat does 6. So I think you're right that I could have gotten a 5/5, but also getting a 5/5 didn't matter. Ha, ha. ha. Staying alive. Staying alive. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Staying alive. Do-do-do. So we want to draw a Trail of Crumbs, and then we want to find, like, a cat oven. Okay. Okay. Could be worse. They do get to flashback their Season Pyromancer tokens here. So we are not out of the woodwork yet. Yeah, we do also have a food store. We're going up to 9. We're at 12. The Meathook Massacre means we're no longer in concession territory. It means, like, we could draw another good spell and be on our way. Yeah, like, trail into a cat and the game ends pretty quickly in our favor. Yeah, 0 cats, 0 trails, and 25 cards. Meow. Squirrel's actually not that good of a draw at the moment. Now it would be better because we have a familiar, but... Okay. It's impressive how well we've hung into this game, despite the fact that we've drawn, what, almost twice as many lands as them? So we've had 2 lands die, so we've had 11 lands, and they've had 6. I guess they looted some away. This is fair. God, Baron Von YOLO Swag, thank you for the almost 4 years. Welcome back. Keeping me around. Come on, Trail of Crumbs. Come on, Trail of Crumbs. I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. Do. Why X is 4 on the Meathook Massacre? Why not X is 4 on the Meathook Massacre? I'm gonna crack this so we don't die to a flurry of burn spells here after this hits us. Are we the bad guys? No, I'm currently caged and flooding, so definitely not bad. The only bad thing on your screen is my current draw. 30 cards into our deck without a Trail of Crumbs. That's true. And honestly, to highlight further how unlucky we've been this game, there's 4 Khalni Gardens in our deck, and it took us 30 cards for the lands we're flooding on to find a Khalni Garden. Yeah, the fact that they've drawn, like, it's not even just the fact that we've flooded, but, like, our opponent has 31 cards in their deck. They've drawn the same number of cards as we have effectively. And they're on mono gas on top of us flooding. So, like, the fact that we're still this far in the game, despite the discrepancy in draw quality, is huge. Yeah, the food is keeping us alive here for the time being. Are they dead to cage dying? Yes. Yeah, Meathook's been excellent. For sure. They surveilled top, so I assume we're dead here. I mean, I'm confused what your definition of a stalemate is. If them winning actively and us losing slowly is your definition of a stalemate. It's not really a stalemate if one person is pushing an advantage every turn. I would describe our current situation as treading water while we lose. I mean, they had a couple surveils at the end there, but again, if we had a couple more Khalni Gardens, we could have like been plus, 6 to 9 life. Opponent had utility lands, but like we also had utility lands that died, so twice as many lands, the same number of cards, just not gonna get there. Our engine just took too long to show up, right? Like, sure, they drew a cage eventually, but like if we'd have had a cat before our 25th or 26th card, they would have just died to the cat. Correct. Yeah. If their cage would have been any other spell in their deck, we would have won that game. Which is honestly like games like that, right? When I tell people like you need to not think about the record when you're evaluating decks, like a game like that, I walk away from looking at a deck like this and going, oh, there's very likely something here, right? It was a game where the opponent was fortunate, we were unfortunate, and we still got to play this very real game of Magic despite the variance not being in our favor. Hey, Jamison, thanks for the biddies. Good morning, good morning. Is this version better than the Devil version? I have no idea. Data inconclusive, need relevant tournaments. Is Historic a real player on the ladder? Well, the ladder doesn't really tell us the strength of a given deck, and it certainly doesn't tell us the strength of one variation of an archetype versus another. Like you can be successful with literally anything on the ladder with a little bit of good play and just playing enough. Cute. Hey, Druid Doshi, thank you for the 15 months. Welcome back. The opponent's archetype is not an established part of the format, no. You know, honestly, I think I'm just disputing again here. While they're tapped out, because they probably have counter spells. Getting those in while the getting is good has a lot of appeal. Yeah, the fact that they have ninjas in their deck makes them a rogues deck, huh? This is a nice card to have hiding on the top of our deck when they Thoughtseize us. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, they're just getting a goose. Okay. I feel like Meathook Massacre would be worse for me here, because it would punish me while I kill their stuff. But you may have my goose, yes. The old, not technically ninjutsu card from Zendikar. I think this deck, it has a lot of interesting micro decisions to play, even if it's rather dry for the other opponents to sit through. This deck's a good example of fun is zero sum, I think. I think getting to sit and make a lot of micro decisions is fun, can be fun for the person doing it, but it's really dry waiting on the other side of the board for everything to happen. And really just the lack of auto yields is the big thing. Like the fact that they have to click resolve every time a Trail of Crumbs trigger goes on the stack is not a good look. I'm just gonna push this. I could be right to save it for a Ninjutsu Dorko too, though. Although the card advantage for them drawing one card off of like a Ninja Depowers probably doesn't matter. We're just kind of drowning in cards over here. Double trail in play. Deadly Disputes looking to turn out some more cards. BT Dubs, haven't plugged it for a little bit. If you're a sub who was waiting to vote on the survey for more spoilers, today is the last day to vote for what format you want the next open to be. There is about a 15 vote difference right now between standard and historic for the open format, so your vote could be the deciding factor. Standard is currently ahead by about a dozen votes last I checked. It does, yeah. As of this very moment, we have 1,989 subscribers on the channel, and only about 450 people have cast votes on the survey, so. Oh, thanks for the Cauldron Familiar, opponent. Appreciate you. That's true. We could theoretically lose to Mill here. That's actually a real thing to be concerned about. The King of DC, thank you for the 11 months. Welcome back. Can Meathook Massacre swim, chat? I mean, to be fair, almost 100 of the people who have voted said no preference. Well, I wanted to sack one of those cats in response there, but here we are. Eat your food. 20 cards left in deck. Gotta kill them before we deck out here. We have Hive with the Eye Tyrants plus this cat oven loop. We'll probably stop drawing cards with Trail of Crumbs at this point, honestly. The fire design is incredibly strong with our current deck. You're not wrong. We're cutting the Village Rites. Am I? I guess they have removal spells. Some amount of these need to go, I think, because of their counter spells, but they're still good to respond to removal. As we leave 3 in. I think it's probably just an all Doomblades on deck matchup when I kill all their stuff. I want these Witches' Vengeances. Vengeance could be good here. Let's try this. Thanks for the follow, Naka. Well, glad we have Maelstrom Pulse. We chill on the Pulse for now and just Vengeance this board. I'm just activating Trail this turn. I don't know that I'm interested in messing up the mana base, and Khalni Garden has been, like, actively good in the games we've been playing with it so far, and I think you'd have to give up Khalni Garden to play a third color. I'm gonna Village Rites it end of turn to try and bait a counterspell. So that way we can kill the Grafdigger's Cage with the Maelstrom Pulse. Okay, so I am sacking a food to this cat, knowing that the cat is not coming back because I want to draw 2 cards with Trail for just 2 mana, and I don't need the 3 life. So, for reference, I'm aware that the cat is staying in the graveyard and there's a Grafdigger's Cage in play. I understand how Magic works, this is just the correct play. In fact, it's so good, I'm gonna do it again. Okay. Some card draw of their own. We have a game here. They might name cat here. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw 2 in response here. Yeah. Good shit. When you have Grafdigger's Cage in play and still have to get rid of the Cauldron Familiar. The old Soul Guide Lantern into the story. Classic combo deck. Alright, so Trail of Crumbs, make a food. Go dig in for some cards here. But I want to try and get this game over with, so especially with the redundant Meathook in hand, I'm just going to play this out for 0. So if they start interacting with my board, they take some damage. Hey, thanks for the 1.5 years, Devil. Welcome back. Yes. Yeah, Meathook's like it's a hard to kill blood artist, right? It just like hangs out eternally. You know, honestly, at this point, we're going to start leaving lands in our deck because of concern of decking. I'm still going to keep drawing spells here, but I think I'd rather have lands in the deck rather than draw a spell, rather than draw them. Well, they can no longer block with Hall of the Storm Giant, so I'm going to attempt to push lethal. Oh, I could have gasted the Outcast. That's a good call. Yeah, I should have done that, then I could have Fatal Pushed this Soaring Thought Thief. Good shout from chat. That's fine. This game is over, but we could have likely won this turn. Okay, not block. Huh. The more you know. Chat, I've never read that card before. Come on now. And that's how you know this deck is great, chat. I'm illiterate, and we still won that match very handedly. Now, I appreciate people pointing out the rules text I missed. That's good. Imagine being able to read, right? Yeah, the squirrel's the real deal, and having a Meathook Massacre is the real deal. You know, blood artist style of effects have always been good in decks like this, and the fact that Meathook Massacre is a sweeper we could find with Trail, and it's a blood artist style of effect that doesn't die to sweepers is really strong. Honestly, Deadly Dispute, I think, is a card that deserves a shout after that set too. Just like, add another card that adds an incredible amount of consistency to the deck. The fact that this can sacrifice food in addition to creatures is really strong. Khalni Garden. I wasn't sure if this card was end up being reasonable going in. The tapped land wasn't really awkward at any points because our curve is so low. We had a lot of ideal points where we could like kind of sneak it into the curve, and the creature was super relevant, whether it was sacrificing to a Village Rites or a Deadly Dispute or a Witch's Oven or a Squirrel. We have a lot of things to do with the extra bodies from this, and it felt like a very reasonable inclusion. Someone had asked about, you know, do you want to splash for something in this deck? And I think Khalni Garden is actually one of the reasons to not splash. Like, having to add a third color means you need to give up some of these mono-colored lands, and this felt very reasonable and powerful for us. Anonymous, thanks for the half a year